Hi, my name is Meg Curitan, and I am a physician assistant, as is my husband, a physician assistant. And we have three kids, a set of twins that are 10 and a 12-year-old. Excuse me. I hope I won't get emotional during this, but my twins were born pretty early. They were born at 30 weeks, and so they had excuse me, a lot of developmental shortcomings, I guess we'd call it, that we didn't really recognize or actually really know anything about. They had gone into, they went into public school and had some unfortunate experiences to the point where actually the district psychologist had decided that my son was autistic, and that when he was what we now understand to be just completely overwhelmed and stressed out because his anxiety was through the roof, but when he would melt down and have become overwhelmed, either the sound or the activities or whatever it was that was hurting him that day, she decided she was going to put him in a cluster in a room where he can just throw his tantrum and have his fits and do whatever he wanted to do, but he would not get what he wanted until he stopped. So that was kind of the point where I thought, I think my kids need to be somewhere else. His daughter, his sister, his twin sister, actually was coping a little bit better at that point through school. So we simply started with him, and we had put him through occupational therapy, and he had visited with actually several different occupational therapists. He had been, we're seeing, of course, the pediatrician has him on some medication, which actually did help, but he then also went through some vision therapy, which helped a little bit. But he also had some behavioral therapy, and all these different modalities were helpful, but nothing was really making a difference until we learned about, I heard about brain balance. Actually, I'd heard about brain balance a while ago, and I thought, I don't know, being in the medical field, and I think, well, show me the science. And so I didn't even investigate it initially, which I probably should have done that a long time ago. But after we went through all these other modalities and we're still not making a whole lot of progress, I thought, okay, let me check it out. And wow, scientifically, actually, it made a lot of sense because it was an integration of all those modalities that we tried to do independently that just weren't hitting the mark. And my son is now in the mastery phase. We moved him over to a Montessori school, and that school it's a fantastic school. He's of course working with the special ed teachers and IEP, and they have noticed an amazing difference in not only his behavior, but his understanding of what he's going through. And now he has the ability to actually do things that I was told that he probably would never get to be able to understand how to function through life or how to understand the concept of whatever he's feeling. And he expresses himself, he gets it, and he's not autistic. He is very bright and very cooperative, and he's the first one to come open the car door for me and hold the door open for me when we go out of a doorway. And he has made unbelievable strides in, how long has it been? I guess it's been 6 months. He did 2 phases, and it's astounding. I know we still have a ways to go, but where he's at now is farther than I'd ever thought I would actually get to see him at. So then, of course, his sister continued through public school. She then got to the grade where when she got into third grade, it was much more difficult, and she started to have the breakdowns that Andy had. I didn't mean to say his name. She started to have the breakdowns that her brother was having earlier on. So now that we know what's going on, I completely understand it now, and it makes so much sense. She too is doing brain balance, and around the house, the things that she is capable of recognizing and seeing and processing. To say that I'm impressed, like, just doesn't cut it. I can't even think of the word, but it's more than I would have expected her to be at. She's still, she's not at the mastery phase yet, because I think she just had a lot more, probably because I left her in public school longer than he was, unfortunately. I have to what's called like de-school her. She's just like, it's PTSD, unfortunately. But she's made amazing progress. And then, of course, because of the beautiful things that I saw my children finally going through and understanding how the brain works and the connections that they're making, I could see it. Amazing progress. Now I've thought, I think their older brother might unfortunately have gotten overlooked. So he's here now at Brain Balance, and we're in the phase at the beginning where it's they kind of get a little worse before they get better. But so that's kind of where we're at with him. But I can see the changes in his brain now that I understand. After the first two, I get it. I know what's going on with, okay, they're actually making those connections that they didn't have before. And he's actually excited. Because he's a little older, he recognizes, I don't understand why I know I'm smart, and I don't understand why this kind of situation is overwhelming for me. So I want to feel better. I don't want to be like this. He has friends, and but he's like, there's just so much of a struggle in him. You can feel it. He struggles so much. Just his body language tells you that. That sweet boy needs some help too. So to say that I'm grateful to be here is also pretty much an understatement. I see big things for my kids in their future. Where if you would have talked to me a year ago, boy, I was in a very different place and getting very different advice from different people saying that, they're going to have so many limitations in their lives that, clearly aren't there. And I am so grateful to have actually finally investigated brain balance and understand that the science really is there. It all makes total sense to us now, and I'm very grateful.